going to make a video, hit the record button, and just all of a sudden it's like power goes out. It's always something, man. And then, you know, of course my computer goes to reboot and takes like 20 minutes. Struggle's real. Anyway, Rob here, OCV channel, back with another heavy rotation video, number 5, 6, something like that. I got new glasses, so I can see now. It's amazing how much better driving is. Amazing how much safer it is for all you out there with me being able to see. Holy smoke. Anyway, again, these are my top 10, not top 10, these are 10 albums that I've been listening to this week. They've been on the platter, on the turntable, on the record player, on the old disc spinner quite a bit this week. And starting off, again, my music's eclectic, I'm warning you. Put your seatbelt on. Number 1, Tyler Childers, Purgatory. Yep, this is it. And here's the back of the LP. You can see the songs listed there. It's a good one. You know, I like old Tyler. He's kind of crazy. Like when he plays, he gets this like weird kind of stare going. Kind of looks like a psycho. But yeah, this is it's his second studio album by American country music singer Tyler Childers. It was released in August 2017 under Hickman Holler, and Sturgill Simpson produced this. Another one of my favorites. Old Sturgill, man, he's good. Sturgill, what a classic name that is, huh? So then we go from Tyler Childers to, I had this in last week's heavy rotation, except it wasn't this. This is another album by the same band. The Firm, Jimmy Page, Paul Rogers. This one, it still has the shrink on. I kept it on there because it's got all these stickers on there, so I thought it was kind of cool. I won again at Lil Mart Records and Tapes, 17 Boardwalk, Seaside Heights, New Jersey. Seaside's favorite music emporium. So apparently that's where Mean Business from The Firm, their second and last album, came from. Well, it didn't come from there. It wasn't made there, but you know what I'm talking about. That's where it was bought at. And somehow ended up in my hands down here in Florida years later. This was released, when was this released? Mean Business is the second and final studio album by The Firm, released by Atlantic Records on February 3rd, 1986. Their first album was released in 1985. Repeating the same bluesy formula as the first album, The Firm, 1985. Mean Business did not achieve the same commercial success as the self-titled one. I don't know. I like this one. I like them both. I probably like them both the same. This one includes the hit single, All of the King's Horses. You know, it's got other good songs on there too. Not just one. Check it out. Yeah, I saw this. Had to get it. Got this in a local music store. And I got a pretty good deal on it. Not a great deal, but I haven't seen another one around. I didn't want to order it online, so I coughed up like the $12 and bought it. So here you go. On to jumping the ship onto number 3. This is Mr. Bluegrass himself, Bill Monroe, and his Bluegrass Boys. This album was released in 1961, and it's got a bunch of good hits on it. And there's the back of the album. Ooh. And this one was sealed. It was a sealed copy. This one isn't from 1961. This is the re-release or the reissue on MCA. I think it came out in 74, 75, something like that is when it was released. But it was still sealed, and, you know, first thing I did, pop that baby open and play it. Want no damn sealed records. unless, you know, it's like a duplicate or something. I get records to play, and look at that. I did $10 is what I paid for that. Bill Monroe. You could probably get it for less, but it was a sealed copy, and I have seen them going as high as 40 or 50 bucks for an unsealed copy. I don't know what it's worth. I don't really care. I got it because I like the music. What does it say? Mr. Bluegrass, Bill Monroe, and his Bluegrass Boys released this in 1961 on Decca. It's reissued on MCA in 75. You see, I was right. That's pretty much what I just said. So, we go to this one. Foreigner's debut album. Foreigner, 1977. It's the self-titled debut studio album by the British American rock band Foreigner, released in 77. It spun off 3, count them, 1, 2, 3 hit singles. Feels Like the First Time, Cold as Ice, and Long, Long Way from Home. But pretty much just about every song on this album rocks. Good album, and I got this like real cheap. Real cheap. And it's in good shape. All of these are, you know, in mucho excelente shape. Is that even really right? Okay, jumping ship from Foreigner to 1977 to, this is one of my favorite albums. You know, if I had to, gun to my head, pick a top 10, it'd still be really hard to do with a gun to my head. But this album would probably be on it. I've had this album in all shapes, forms, and media, from streaming to album to cassette to CD. Haven't had it on 8-track. Go figure. But Fugazi Repeater. This is a killer album. Here's some pics of the boys right there. Got this side, kind of handwritten looking lyrics of all the songs on the back. Just a killer album. I've got a lot of Fugazi, one of my favorite, you know, old school kind of punk rock bands. And this album kicks ass. Let's see what it says about it. Repeater is the full-length debut studio album by the American post-hardcore band Fugazi. It was released in April 19th of 1990 as Repeater on LP, and in May 1990 on CD, bundled with 3 songs, an EP, blah, 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 blah. It was recorded at Inner Ear Studios in Arlington, Virginia, produced and engineered by Don Zientara, I don't know, and Ted Nicely. Repeater is often regarded as a definitive album for the band and a landmark of rock music. It has been described as an angrier American update of Gang of Four's Solid Gold. It's also been noted in its complex interplay and guitar and rhythm section. It's included in the book of 1,000 recordings to hear before you die. So, if you've never heard it, it's in the list of 1,000 recordings to listen to before you die. I would suggest just going out and finding a copy and getting it. This isn't an original. This is a reissue. I don't know when it came out. 1990, 2009, something like that. I used to have the original. And, well, needless to say, I bought a reissue, so it tells you what happened to the reissue. Speaking of reissues, this is another one that's a reissue. And jumping track again, musical taste is all over the plate right now. Robert Johnson, king of the Delta blues singers. This one is a special edition on orange vinyl. Yep, it's on some bright ass orange vinyl. There must have been a deal on orange vinyl because a lot of records have been coming out on orange vinyl lately. Is it something I'm missing? Secret handshake, password, something? I don't know. Or was it just a really good deal on orange vinyl, so everybody kind of went that way? The Lord Almighty. Let's try this again. Had to stop it because texts were coming in, the phone was ringing. Somebody was at the door. The dog's barking. The dog wants to come in. Then I recorded it, and then the audio is all messed up. Can't it just finish the video? Back to what I was saying. Robert Johnson, King of the Delta Blues. Good grief. You got the, oh, let me just pull it back out of the sleeve here. You got the orange vinyl. Must have been a deal on orange vinyl because everybody's using orange vinyl here as of late, it seems. Got the back of the album. Got a bunch of literature, the song titles, everything on here. It's a really good album, you know. Robert Johnson, you know the story. He couldn't play guitar. Disappeared for 3 months. Came back all of a sudden. He was like blowing minds. Everybody said, you know, went down to the crossroads and made a deal with the devil. I don't know. He sure knew how to play guitar. I wish I could learn to play guitar after 3 months. I've been struggling at it for years. Okay. Let's go on to the next one. Man almighty. This one is it's a good album. Picked it up in the thrift store. Got it fairly cheap. Like $3, $2, something like that. And it was kind of one of those overlooked albums. And Pat Benatar. Whoa, sorry, Pat. Didn't mean to oogle you there. Crimes of Passion. It's the front of the album. There's the back of the album. Pat looking good as usual. You know what? She just came to St. Augustine, her and her husband, and man, they were still rocking hard. She's still kicking up the dust. Very good. This is a great album by far. Crimes of Passion is the second studio album by American rocker Pat Benatar, released August 5th, 1980 on Chrysalis Records. And, I mean, the whole album's good. Every song on here is good, you know. Treat me right, you better run, never want to leave you, hit me with your best shot. Man, it's just got song after song on here that is great. A lot of music on here, especially for what I paid for it, which was a steal. All right, now we're getting a little dark. We're going from Pat Benatar to Ghost. If you have Ghost. Front of the album. There's the back of the album. A little Nosferatu looking a little creepy. Ghost. If you've never heard Ghost, you should definitely check them out. If you like, you know, metalish, Sweden kind of metal. Killer band, man. They're talented, very theatrical. You know, when you see this dude here, you go see him live, he kind of looks like that too. Yeah, very theatrical. This is Ghost's first EP, and it says it's Swedish heavy metal band Ghost, formed in 2008. Ghost is composed of 6 anonymous members, vocalist Papa Emeritus, and 5 instrumentalists known as Nameless Ghouls. Like I said, they're theatrical. You know, when you go to see their show, you see lots of video. They're in full costume. All the instrumentalists, unnamed ghouls, they all have this kind of metal faceplate, and Papa's out there rocking, looking a lot like this. And it's a good band though, man. They have video effects, lighting, and all that aside, they're phenomenal musicians. They're all good. Very cool albums. They have, I don't know, 4 or 5 albums, 5, 6 albums out. This one was produced by the legendary Dave Grohl from Nirvana and the Foo Fighters. And it was released on November of 2013 by Republic Records. 4 of the 5 tracks on this EP are covers. I'm a Marionette and Waiting for the Night were originally released on various editions of Ghost's second album, Infestissimum, Mana Mana, I don't know how to say that word. But anyway, cool album. If you never checked out Ghost, definitely worth a listen. And you know, the record label on there just looks like that. So that's just cool. You know, that floats my boat. I mean, looking back, I mean, it's like all kinds of creepy stuff. So keeping on with a little bit of dark theme here. Gonna go with this one. Danzig. You cannot go wrong with some Danzig, as long as you like Danzig. Front of the album, back of the album. Front of the album, back of the album. And this one is, of course, a reissue. I don't have the original. It is on this bright yellow vinyl with like some black smears in it. Killer album. Killer album. Danzig's debut album by American heavy metal band Danzig, released August of 1988. The album was the first release on producer Rick Rubin's new label, Deaf American Records. Deaf American's successor, American Records Recordings, reissued the album in the United States, and in 98 remains the band's best-selling album. It's been certified gold in the U.S. in 94 and has since been certified platinum. Danzig promoted the album with a successful world tour in 1988 through 1989, and it was a kick-ass tour. If you didn't see it, shame on you. Anyway, killer album. You know, Rick Rubin, his name comes up a lot, and it's associated with really good albums. Dude has a knack for something, because he throws out some good stuff, works with different bands, and yeah, this is one of them, Danzig. And like I said, this isn't one of the originals. They go for big money right now. And even this one's kind of hard to get. But anyways, on to the next, which is this one right here. Linkin Park, Minutes to Midnight. Front of the jacket, back of the jacket, and inside the jacket. Another good one. I recently just picked this up, and just like the Danzig album, this one is on like a transparent yellow, bright ass yellow transparent vinyl. It's pretty cool. Definitely bright. Got the cool Linkin Park logo in the middle there. Minutes to Midnight is the third studio album by American rock band Linkin Park, released May of 2007 through Warner Brothers Records. The album was produced by Mike Shinoda and Rick Rubin. There it is again, Rick Rubin. He got a knack for good sound. And it's Linkin Park's first studio album produced without Don Gilmore, who had produced the band's 2 previous albums. Minutes to Midnight is the band's follow-up album to Meteora, 2003. Features a shift in the group's musical direction. For the band, the album marks the beginning of deviation from their signature nu metal sound. Anyway, it's a good record. Definitely worth a listen. I had this on CD, never had it on vinyl, saw it on vinyl and said, oh, I got to have that. So that I did. Minutes to Midnight, Linkin Park. I think Minutes to Midnight. What does it say? Oh, it says it's also the first band's full-length album to carry a parental advisory note. Is that it? That is it. That is 10 of my albums that I've been listening to this week on vinyl. Got the old Technics turntable spinning. Got the Technics amp that I got from 1977. It's only like 35 watts per channel, but I've got it hooked up to my custom 12s that I use for floor monitors with my band, and sounds good. Anyways, 1977 that amp is from. Still works like a charm. And sounds, you know, for a cheap, not very special little amp, sounds great. I'm going to upgrade it eventually. We'll see. Got a couple other systems going. But that's it for now. I'm going to call it a wrap. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Juicing up on my Monster Energy drink. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.